3D, baby. Been hunting this bear all week.
I grunted at him. He come running back in. We just smoked another giant.
Just an absolute giant. Lifetime bull for me.
Team 200 is presented by Moonguide. Plan your best hunt.
This last season was just one for the books, I guess you could say. We had some awesome encounters with some big birds. It's got a breast on him. You can always tell in them bigger breasted boys. Got some moobs.
What am I supposed to do with that?
First year using those Esh custom calls, and they definitely answered, and we actually had some big time birds coming into those calls. Frosty morning. Perfect mid-April morning. It is the opener of the Kansas gun season, yet we are still chasing them with bows. Ryan had to get creative this morning on getting this bird to come in, but it worked. I mean, threw the kitchen sink at him with trying to fan him. So just an awesome hunt, great shot, double hips, and what can I say? When the calendar turns to August, it just seems like you feeling that pressure like it's go time. So mineral is legal in Kansas. We put that 30-06 with protein out, and this past summer, I got it out real early. It was like late May and June. I was still freshening up the holes, and man, the bucks were just pounding it. You know, when you get some of those areas, just for whatever reason, that's the magic mineral spot, and the deer are just craving it. I had this one particular deer that showed up, and I could just tell he was going to be a giant. I mean, mass, bases, and multiple points started. Early mineral photo of this buck. I couldn't wait to get a picture of him later in the summer. I'm saying the night I left, the one was on there. So I'm running the cameras religiously in this spot for like a week, and just after weeks of trying to get the perfect image of this deer, you got to be careful, because I was scrolling through images, and I noticed in the background, boom, there he was going down this trail like middle of the day, and I could finally get a look at his frame, and he was a giant. So I've got a potential 200-inch deer located, and that's what you dream of that time of year. The deer, as it got closer to season, like they do, it started becoming less and less on the cameras, and I kind of lost track of them. So I knew that I could be patient a little bit, wait for bow season, and hopefully catch them back around during the middle of the rut. It's no secret Kansas has an early muzzleloader season, but it's probably one of the best times if you can hone in on a giant buck and pretty much get in there and get them killed. They're just, everything's unpressured. Man, that Kansas muzzleloader season is definitely can be a deadly season. If you got a couple big bucks located in your back pocket, you can get in there and probably get a good one killed. So I had a couple hunters in camp doing some muzzleload hunting, and I had Flint out to do some early season hunting as well. We were able to get after a big 10 point that was hitting this bean plot, and had several encounters with this buck. And it just became a range thing, where Flint shooting the muzzleloader at about 100 yards max and in, and it just seems like that buck always stayed out at about 120 yards.
Got one of our target bucks over here, just a little out of range, so hopefully he comes this way. 30 minutes to dark.
Coming up next.
I can't believe it. We've got a giant deer on the ground. By far the biggest buck I've ever killed.
And I had his onyx pointed. He didn't pick up anything. Gave me a 30-yard shot.
Thank God I have an Ozonics.
Start seeing more deer more often and closer than you ever thought possible with Ozonics. Ozonics is the only product that actively and continually attacks game spooking odor in the downwind airstream during your entire hunt, allowing you to beat an animal's #1 defense, its nose.
So we got this big buck standing out there in the middle of this bean plot, and we got the shot we wanted. It was starting to lose some light. He said he was ready. He thinks he can make the shot.
I think I missed.
So Flint squeezes off on that trigger, and sure enough, he just missed. And it's probably not going to be the first time he misses a deer. He was pretty worked up.
It's a nerve-wracking moment. 100 yards.
And the range was just a little bit probably maxed out for that muzzleloader, but it's just one of them things, and he took it pretty good, and it was nice to know that the deer ended up showing back up, and it was just a clean miss. Of course, it's a little different with me. I do the outfitting on the side, and I want to try and hit those red moon dates. I mean, you want everything on your side, especially in the early seasons. I got Flint on a big 10-point, red moon week. Other muzzleload hunters were in camp, and then it was definitely time to start thinking about my bow hunters. And I knew I had 4 guys coming in the end of October into the first couple days of November, and they were going to hit that red moon and probably hit it right with everything on their side.
Red moon. It's cold. Russell's here. Trying to kill a big 11-point. We'll see. Russell's fired up.
I had a particular buck start showing up, and he was definitely doing the food thing, the bait thing. It's a different type spot, kind of a city spot. And the deer had never daylighted before. It was all in the middle of the night. So it's a red moon. I had 3 or 4 guys in camp, and I knew the action was going to be packed. And sure enough, I had this buck showing up. Said, Russell, we need to go after him. And you could just tell the stars were aligning that week. We had some weather. We definitely had the red moon, and obviously some pre-rut action going on.
Crazy intense. And I think he made a good hit. I think the deer's piled up right there, but man, we're gonna check this shot out real quick.
Here he is! He's dead! No way. Dude, I can't believe we did it! Are you kidding me, Kris? Kris Seymours, my man.
What a stud.
My man. Look at this monster.
All right, I'm out here with Russell Chambers, and we are in Kansas, the end of October here, red moon. We got down here, it's high of 33 today, north winds for October. And it was like, December weather. And sure enough, Russ spotted this buck coming up, and that's your biggest buck?
So far?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kris.
Yeah, just worked out good. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
Coming up next.
Why are raw frozen scents better? No decomposition. The biggest advantage of raw frozen scents is that they freeze the deer urine and they keep it smelling like real deer in the woods. Deer urine has living organisms in it, so freezing is the only way to keep it fresh and real.
Calming scent is a final touch here.
Refrigeration does not keep deer urine fresh. It must stay frozen until you take it in the field. When raw was tested on scent wicks, side by side with another leading scent brand, the average amount of time spent by multiple bucks was 266 seconds versus only 5 seconds for the leading brand. What I love about raw frozen scents is they're exactly that. They're raw, they're untouched, and they're shipped to you frozen. It's the freshest that you can get. Always fresh, no water, no preservatives, and 100% money back guarantee.
start of November and I get into the lone wolf, I do some grunts, and sure enough, here comes this beautiful 3-4-year-old buck.
Just too early in the game. I got some other bucks on the brain right now. What a stud. Nice encounter.
As a decoy hunter, I'm constantly trying to use the extinguisher grunt call or the black rack to try and get the big buck's attention. You know, I want them to see me. I want them to notice, you know, my decoy, so they come into my set.
Oh man, we gotta get these cows out any day, hopefully tomorrow.
So here it is, Veterans Day, and we had a nice snow on the ground. I got into this new cedar set, and sure enough, you know, you hit the horns a little bit, give some grunts, the illusion game calls, and here comes another 3-year-old. Boom, right into my lap, you know, and then another 3-year-old. You know, like I said, I'm covered up with 3-year-old bucks, and my hunting's effective, but I'm just not getting my timing right on the big boys. So hunting with my daughter this year was going to be really limited. I mean, cheerleading, dance, basketball, all taking place during the rut. She's not real particular. And the year before, of course, she shoots this giant 160-inch 10-pointer. So she's already, you know, kind of hit the top, and she's just looking for a good buck to shoot. The buck didn't go 30 yards and piled up in the snow. And it was just one of those majestic, you know, deer hunting stories that you could ask for in moments. And it made it even better. Icing on the cake, I was with my daughter to experience it.
All right, just a flash hunt for Trinity. She made a great shot using a little 243 CVA Scout. And we did some trigger practice in the basement, just dry fires. You did awesome, babe. You drilled him. He didn't go 50 yards. And he's bigger than I thought, man. He's heavy. Oh, so her hands are freezing. We're gonna take care of this buck, get him out of here.
Coming up next. For over 2 decades, the Moonguide has been the #1 rated tool for serious hunters, telling you when giant whitetails will move and where you need to hunt. Now available as a mobile app, the Moonguide gives you parcel data, enhanced weather radar, exclusive discounts, tips from the pros, and the deadly red moon data. Are you tired of hunting nocturnal trail camera bucks? Do you ever wonder why some bucks only show up during daylight on certain days each year? The Deer Hunter's Moonguide is here to help.
My scouting tells me where to hunt. The Moonguide tells me when.
Our best day hunting ever. 2 unkillable bucks, both taken on the red moon.
For effective preseason scouting, scheduling time off work, planning out-of-state hunts, and increasing your overall hunting success, simply check the Moonguide's calendar to find the best days, times, and hunting locations to catch a mature deer on his feet during daylight hours.
2 giant bucks last year, both taken on the red moon. Plan your best hunt at moonguide.com.
So Kansas 2019 started with a potential 200-inch deer, and you know, ended up going through them phases like it does. Lots of encounters, lots of learning of new spots, hunting a new style with some scrape lures and the raw scents.
Put out some raw estrus scent, and that scrape, you went right to it. Seen about 9 bucks today. Haven't seen a single doe. Really nice 8-point. Probably a 3-year-old. I'm just waiting for the right buck. Big timber, lockdown, that's where you gotta be. They're cruising. He's gonna be a stud next year.
So typically for me, you know, when all the hunters are gone, when the rifle season's over, if I still have a tag left, it's like, okay, let's find a deer to kill. You're either gonna find some giant that somehow slipped through the cracks, or you're gonna target a cull buck. This just happened to be a beautiful 6x4 buck that I had found, and I knew him from previous pictures earlier in the year, even during the rut. And I mean, he was a stud. He fit the bill, and here we are, it's Christmas. I still got a late season tag and decided I could slip out and go try and kill this buck. I had the Quiet Cat. I knew it was gonna be easy getting in there and not sweating and not laying a bunch of scent down. So I took off Christmas night, and I was trying to fill my buck tag.
Just putting a little bit of this calming scent out. Uh-oh, we got deer moving.
Sure enough, it didn't take maybe 45 minutes, and here comes some fawns out. And I look up, and there he is. And it was probably an hour before dark, and he's just posing. I mean, it was like B-roll heaven. Here he comes walking straight down, about 100-yard lane right at me.
Dead. Went down right there. I center punched him. Yes. Oh, I got the Tacticam going. I got the GoPro going. This is Kansas, so you can bait. And when it's late season, you know, you got 5 days left. I'm gonna hunt over bait. I don't care. I like killing bucks. There's the Luminox stuck in the tree. Look at that. Talk about incredible Christmas gift right here. Oh man, what a buck. And here I am late season and happy to put a tag on this beast. And he is an old buck, big forehead, big blockhead. I couldn't beat that.
Awesome closure on a big mature Kansas buck, but just knowing that 200 could still be out there for this upcoming season, I'm pretty excited about that. And you know, just another blessed Kansas deer season in the books.
Trying to clean him up, man. Just a double lung disaster with this guy. Anyway, I wanted to get a better look at him. Gotta love these late season hunts. He's hungry, he's coming to feed, and he just did the deal. Gave me lots of pre-roll, and